Hello everyone and welcome to Talk Sport. It's another beautiful day, beautiful Tuesday morning here in the capital. The energy is high, lots of excitement because, not because Manchester United made it to top four, but we have lots of Champions League actions later today. Manchester United fans are happy. Well, yes, they brought Chelsea down by winning. I said it yesterday. I said Manchester United needed to make it to top four. I said it. They said it's either they get a draw or a win will get them there. But the only thing that would have stopped them was them losing. But they didn't lose. So I celebrated with Manchester United fans yesterday and still celebrating with them because they made it to top four. There's a hope for them now that they might be playing in the Champions League. So notwithstanding, just a couple of points different between Manchester United and Chelsea. I know they are gunning now to get into the top three position. We'll see how that pans out. But Chelsea is right behind you, so be very, very careful. We'll be having all of those conversations and moving away from EPL. UEFA Champions League actions will be coming out today. We'll be seeing a lot of upsets. We saw some last week where Galatasaray defeated Juventus 5-2 in a very dramatic fashion. I was very surprised of that scoreline, but you can't just be surprised of what happens in the world of sport because anything can literally happen when it comes to football and sports generally. The underdog can just come out from nowhere and shovel you down. And then talking boxing, the Nigerian Boxing Federation has outlined its calendar for the year 2026 and also in preparation ahead of Commonwealth Games that will be coming up in July. Also, Mayweather, yes, would be in action come September. I will bring you up to speed with all of those informations. And Elizabeth Oshaba is also in the news because she has been doing so much more. She broke out in 2022 and has been on a significant trend of winning prestigious belts in different categories that she has participated in. And then talking about Niger Delta Games that is currently ongoing in Benin City, we're seeing lots of scouts on ground and the Nigerian athletes that are there are making us proud. Yesterday we saw Ejiro Peters winning gold medal in the women's 100 meters race and she broke her own record. The previous record she had was 11.76 seconds and then this time around she broke it to 11.10 seconds. That shows how significant and how powerful she is in terms of running. And also in tennis we saw other great athletes coming out and clinching top medal finishes. So far we would still keep trend and keep close and look at the medal tables and we'll get you the state which is leading as it stands now. So away from that, we'll be seeing other actions coming around generally in the world of sport. NNL is taking a new shape and the Super Eagles of Nigeria will be resuming camp on the 24th of March. We are going to be having all of this conversation. But quickly, we'll be starting from the home front as invited diaspora athletes to compete at the 2026 National Intermediate Games, which will be happening in Lagos State, and they will be sitting in as the 36th state. So moving on now, the National Sports Commission has announced that the invited diaspora athletes will make its debut at the first edition of the National Intermediate Games scheduled for Lagos later this year. The invited diaspora athletes is one of the many key reforms that the National Sports Commission under the leadership of Malam Shehu Diko and Honorable Bukola Olokbade has established as part of the Renewed Hope Initiative for Nigerian Sporting Economy. Director General of the National Sports Commission, Honorable Bukola Olokbade, said since the establishment of the Diaspora Discovery Athletes Committee, which is currently chaired by Tunde Adelakun, the committee had swiftly swung into action with many Nigerians in diaspora showing significant interest to compete for Nigeria. The Director General maintained that this is one of the reasons the invited diaspora athletes team will fully be involved at the Intermediate Games later this year in Lagos State. Chairman of the Diaspora Discovery Athletic Committee, Tunde, says that the IDA team will be ready for for intermediate games and even subsequent national competitions, while commending the National Sports Commission for pulling through this bold initiative. At the 22nd National Sport Festival in Ogun State last year, the invited junior athletes competed as the 37th state and made significant impact by winning medals. And similarly, the invited diaspora athletes will feature at the intermediate games this year as the 38th state. So they're talking about dividing, in the Senate, there's a bill that's still ongoing that they should be creating more states in Nigeria. But now, sport has created it. We do not need to go through any legislative hurdles to create that. Sport, the National Sports Commission has created 2 states, added to the 36 states that we have already, which is the junior invited athletes and the invited diaspora athletes. So we have additional 2 states when it comes to the world of sport. But Nigeria has 36 states and capital. So this is very interesting to see that with this initiative, all of our athletes, that's Italy, England, and every other country has been stealing. Germany, that have been taken away from us. At least with this initiative now, there would be a platform to monitor these individuals and also get them back home to come and represent Nigeria. Last month, we saw a bit of switch. We saw goalkeepers, footballers switching allegiance, saying that, making their intentions known that they want to wear the green, white, green jersey and represent Nigeria. And with all of this initiative from the National Sports Commission, creating more pathways for individuals to identify as Nigerians and also participate in sporting activities with Nigeria is very interesting. And this is a very great initiative by Malam Shehu Diko and Honorable Bukola Olopade. He mentioned he needs to take care of grassroots. Grassroots is on a very good place, is at a very good place now. And now he's extending his tentacles to getting Nigerians who are in the diaspora so that they can come home and also participate. Now, this also is an avenue that calls for more infrastructural development and for more partnership with the National Sports Commission, so as these individuals, as they come, they would see the same world-class equipment that they will use to prepare themselves and also train for international and local competition. So moving away from that beautiful initiative, NNL, that's talking about the Nigerian National League, begins bold reform to boost governance visibility. The Nigerian National League is entering a new phase of transformation as strategic investors, top-tier sports management steps up reform aimed at strengthening governance, improving visibility, and unlocking commercial opportunities as the second stanza of the 2025-2026 season begins. Stakeholders says the renewed drive signals a major reset for the country's second-tier football competition. For years, the Nigerian National League has been regarded as a breeding ground for raw talents, competitive and passionate, but often limited by structural and commercial challenges. Now, with fresh backing from top-tier sports management, league administrators says the focus has shifted to sustainable transparency and operational intelligence. As a strategic section held ahead of the season's resumption, both parties outlined an ambitious roadmap designed to strengthen compliance system, improve administrative structure, and entrench transparent process that can support long-term growth. Beyond the boardroom discussions, the reform are already visible. Top Tier has begun targeted investment in intermediates, digitalization, broadcast production, and branding, key areas that directly impact clubs, players, and supporters. The digitalization initiative aims to modernize league administration while enhance production quality in reshaping public perception of the competition. So this is a great thing that we expected to see. NNL has been in talks with all of these individuals, and finally they are making headway, and we're expecting to see that this is going to lead to something, prosperous for everybody. When I mean everybody, for fans, for players, for club owners, and for grassroots sport. The event at the second Niger Delta Games has drawn with the trades to what singles, doubles, and mixed double categories. All 9 participating states are contesting for podium finishes in both the female and male events as the action unfolds at the tennis arena of the Samuel Ogbomodion Stadium. The renovated facility has provided a fitting stage for the competition, with many of the athletes expressing excitement at playing on the upgraded court. Looking at it, the chairman of the main organizing committee said the tournament reflects the broader objective of the games. While the competition is open to athletes up to the age of 20, many of the standout performers have been significantly younger, particularly in the women's category. Their presence has captured the attention of spectators who have watched closely as they battled against older and more physical opposing opponents. Like I mentioned earlier, grassroots is very key. Madam Shehu Diko and the DG Bukola Lokpade has taken care of that. So now that's where we get to see all of this amazing performance. The younger ones now coming out to make their mark and say, no, we have what it takes to advance further. And then we're seeing agents and also individuals that are athletes that will represent Nigeria at the Commonwealth Games come July, are always on ground at the Niger Delta Games to make sure that they get the best of the best. So the competition is on a high, but there's something shocking. They said women are leading. What's happening to the men of recent? You know, women are just taking everything. The Super Eagles of Nigeria, Falcons of Nigeria, champions, Tigress, the same thing, winning trophies. But the guys, what's going on? The Women Month is around the corner, so it's fine that we get to see that women are leading. I can't even argue with that. So from let's talk cricket. As the National Cricket Federation sets dates for its 2026 Women T20 competition. Talking women again. The Nigerian Cricket Federation has confirmed the return of Women's T20 Invitational Tournament, which will be held in Lagos State from March the 18th to the 29th. All of this is in honor of women, because March, we all know, is all over the world. Nigerians female yellow greens will be joined by Ghana, Sierra Leone, Rwanda, and South Africa on the 19 women's team at the Tafawa Balewa Cricket Overhaul. Ghana's last feature in the tournament was in 2023, while Rwanda and Sierra Leone returned to consecutive appearances. The South African under 19 women's team are newcomers to the tournament, which has now been expanded to 5 teams. The competition, which began as a bilateral series with Rwanda, was not held last year due to the National Cricket Federation's busy calendar. Ahead of this year's tournament, the Federation has reaffirmed its readiness to use the competition as a high-performance platform for everything. Not performance for everything, but also a platform to discover up and young athletes that can also represent within and outside the country. So away from cricket, we're moving very fast today. Nigerian Boxing Federation announces Commonwealth trials. The Nigerian Boxing Federation, NBF, boxing with 2026 Commonwealth Games Open Trials. The week-long activities will take place from March 1st to 6th at the Ayenot Boxing Complex, National Stadium, Lagos. The Boxing Week will be headlined by National Open Trials to select individuals that will fly the country's flag at the boxing event at the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Scotland. The trials are open to affiliate clubs, state association, institutions, and eligible Nigerians boxers worldwide. Each affiliated body is expected to present 1 boxer per weight category. The bout will feature 10 weight categories: men's 55 kg, 65 kg, 70 kg, 80 kg, and 90 kg. And for women, we'll be having a bout in 51 kg, 57 kg, 65 kg, 70 kg, and 75 plus kg. That is what we are expected to see as the trials begins March 1st. As part of these activities, the Nigerian Boxing Federation will also celebrate the life and legacy of Nigerian boxing legend Hogan the Kid Bassi, a national icon of sport who brought global recognition to Nigeria. So this is interesting to see that the Nigerian Boxing Federation has all of this outlined, and preparations are starting up very earlier than what we usually see when Nigeria is getting set to go for the Commonwealth Games or prepare ahead of other international competition. So away from that, still talking boxing, unbeaten Elizabeth Oshoala keen to extend dominance in UK run. Nigerian boxing sensation Elizabeth Oshoala has declared her intention to maintain her commanding run in the United Kingdom as ahead of her six-round bout against Chelsea Aaron on April the 5th, 2026, insisting she will leave no room for doubt when she steps onto the ring. The IBF #1 super lightweight contender will feature on the card of the Caroline Derby's versus Tyree Harper World Lightweight title unification bout, a card that was also Elise Scotty's shot at the undisputed World Championship against Maya Flores. Oshoala, who has not tested defeat in 9 professional fights, 5 of which have ended inside the distance, enters the contest in the form of her life and with a point to prove. Oshoala relocated to the UK to launch her professional career in September 2022 after a decorated amateur career that introduced 6 Nigerian national titles, a bronze medal at the 2019 African Games, gold at the 2020 African Zone 3 Championship, and a silver medal at the 2022 Commonwealth Games. In January of 2024, she made history by becoming the first female Nigerian boxer to win a world title when she knocked out Italian Michelle Braga in the 10th round in Copenhagen to claim the WBC silver featherweight crown. And since then, there hasn't been any downturn for Oshoala. Oshoala has been on the rise. The trajectory has been very, very amazing, and she has been looking very, very good with her boxing, career. And looking at it now, she's very, very healthy, going in there with the fit, with the form of her life, as she's looking to continue this trajectory of victory and keeping, the momentum high of winning and winning again. Talking about winners now, you might be wondering why he's coming out of retirement. Now we're talking Mayweather to fight Pacquiao in Las Vegas. This is going to happen in the month of September 2026. They faced each other before now, and Mayweather was victorious in that fight. You all remember that was a couple of years ago, almost a decade ago, where that bout happened. Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao will meet in a long-awaited rematch of the highest-grossing clash in boxing history this September at the Spire in Las Vegas, and Netflix also made the announcement yesterday. The bout between 2 of the boxing biggest names who famously fought a blockbuster clash in 2015. Yes, I remember, almost a decade now. In 2015 and are now both in their late 40s, comes days after Mayweather announced he is coming out of retirement. It will be broadcast live on September the 19th as the global stream platform increasingly moves into live sport with League's one-off event. Mayweather beat fellow welterweight Manny Pacquiao in their money sparring event of 2015 fight of the century. That was a tag which generated a record of 4.6 million pay-per-view buy, but largely failed to live up to the hype. Mayweather is believed to have earned an estimate of $300 million from the point victory over Filipino icon, which remains the most lucrative fight in history and generated more than $600 million in revenue. Former welterweight world champion Mayweather retired from boxing in 2017, unbeaten in 50 bouts. He has continued to fight in exhibition since, including an upcoming clash with his sparring partner Mike Tyson, and that was a fight of the century, and we're expecting to see the same. Now these are 2 giants that are in their late 40s age-wise, and I think for the record between these 2 individuals now is 1-0. Mike Tyson, Mayweather leading the pack, and then Manny Pacquiao chasing from behind. This rematch has been, people have been waiting for this rematch for the past 10 years, and now it's going to be happening in the year 2026. I told you all that this year 2026 has so much when it has to do with sports, and now we are seeing all of this now. Mayweather is set, he looks very fresh and he looks very fit to get back in the ring. He has been, working out with Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson has also been in fights with Jake Paul, and it has been an amazing outing for this individual. So we will see what will be happening come September 2026, as these two individuals will be taking on each other in a rematch of what we saw 10 years ago, which was tagged the fight of the century. So moving away from boxing now, 48 nations to compete as FIFA releases schedule for Series 2026. FIFA has released the full match schedule for FIFA Series 2026, the expanded edition of its international friendly tournaments that will bring together 48 national teams from all 6 confederations. The feature published on its association's website are scheduled for the March and April 2026 international match window. 12 groups of 4 teams each, 9 men's group and 3 women's group will compete, hosted by 11 FIFA member association. Rwanda will stage 2 groups, while other hosts include Australia, Azerbaijan, Brazil, Cote d'Ivoire, Indonesia, New Zealand, Puerto Rico, Switzerland, and Thailand, respectively. All matches are officially international friendlies and will be broadcasted globally, providing fans worldwide with access and giving participating teams value exposure, particularly for those that rarely face opponents from other confederations. According to FIFA, participating members association have chosen their preferred competition format within each group, either a semi-final and a final structure or a series of pre-game arranged features. In all cases, one team will emerge as the group winner. Bam. That's the bottom line of everything. One team must emerge as a winner ahead of the World Cup. And all of this now is actually in line with preparation of the World Cup that will be happening in US, Canada, and Mexico. Now, talking about Mexico, you must have seen in the news that a whole lot of crisis is happening in Mexico. What would then happen? Will the match still continue? Will the World Cup still be played in Mexico, or everything now will be played in United States of America and Canada? Because the visuals and the scene of what's currently happening in Mexico is not just palatable, but we pray that peace will be and security operatives will, put everything to calm as the date of the World Cup and these international friendlies are upon us. So this is just something very, very concerning. But international bodies are on their toe, and definitely will get a very positive result in terms of having peace and quietness in Mexico. We just pray that everything pans out well, and those that have lost loved ones, we send our hearts to them. Away from that, Super Eagles camp opens March 24th for Jordan Invitational Tournament, or friendly match, whichever one you want to call it. Nigerian senior national team, the Super Eagles, are set to resume camp on March 24th ahead of the 4 National Invitational Tournament. The competition serves as a high-profile preparation window as the team navigates a complex period of coaching, negotiations, and legal battles. Officials say the 3-time African champions will utilize the March FIFA international window to face 2 World Cup-bound nations. All matches for the Super Eagles will take place at the 17,000 capacity Amman International Stadium against Iran and Jordan on March the 27th and March the 31st respectively. A senior team official confirmed the timeline to newsmen, saying everything is aligned with the FIFA window. Camp opens the day the window begins. The players and coaching staffs will be on site in Amman from March the 24th through March the 31st. Despite intense speculation regarding a new 19-point contract proposal submitted to Nigerian Football Federation by head coach Eric Chill is expected to remain in charge for the duration of Jordan trip, while negotiations, including a reported request for a salary increase to $130,000 monthly, not just for him, but also for his coaching crew, are ongoing. The NFF has signed its intent for Chile to honor this current agreement as the team built on for 2025, its 2025 African Cup of All Nations bronze medal success. The Invitational comes as at a time of significant uncertainty for Nigerian football. The NFF is currently awaiting a final ruling from FIFA regarding the petition filed against DR Congo. Fingers are still crossed, Nigerians are still waiting, the NFF is still waiting, Super Eagles are still waiting, and Eric Chil is still waiting to see if the Super Eagles of Nigeria will be advancing to the World Cup. But one thing still remains very critical and very vital, that these individuals will still play. They will still play this international friendly match. Whatever the outcome is still a win-win for these individuals. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. $130,000 salary increment for Eric Chil and his coaching staff, right? Now the whole money is not going to this man, right? And again, there are other things that he listed. He asked for a car, he asked for a house, he asked for security, he asked for, flight tickets for him and his family. He asked for for car, yes. He asked for 24-hour electric supply. He asked for a house and all of that. But these are the basic things that this individual needs to live. You all can agree with me that he needs a house. Obviously, his family is not here. He needs flight tickets to go visit them or to bring them over here to Nigeria. He requires a lot to be able to be a coach. He requires also flight tickets and training tips for him to go and monitor Nigerian players that are in the diaspora and also those that are also playing in the Nigerian NNL and NPFL. Remember, earlier on I brought to your notice that the NNL is taking a different turn and we are seeing investors coming into the platform, and that is a raw ground for breeding up-and-coming Nigerian footballers. So he wants to go and monitor those games to be able to know how he will recruit more players for key positions, because the likes of Alex Iwobi are advancing in age. The likes of Calvin Bassey are also advancing in age. We might be needing an entire new squad ahead of, the next World Cup that will be coming up, because we are not certain that the Super Eagles of Nigeria will be going for the one that will be happening in 2026. So come 2030, we might be needing an entire new squad. And then he requires that he travels to go watch these individuals and keep a close relationship with them so as to invite them to come and play. So I think he's making sense. But one thing I think they should negotiate is probably around the $130,000. And again, I've always have a problem with, the NFF paying salaries to coach in dollars. I think it should be paid in Naira, because Naira is our legal tender. So I think that's what they should be using to have these conversations. And I know this money runs into a reasonable amount when it comes to, Naira, if we should do the math with the current exchange rate. So I think these individuals should be paid with our legal tender, and if they need dollar, they could, go to the central bank or go to their bank to get dollar. But the NFF should pay these individuals with our legal tender, which is the Naira. That's all I have to say in line with that. So away from the Super Eagles and the money and the house and the friendly matches that will be coming up, let's talk Manchester United. EPL real quick, as super sub Benjamin fires Manchester United as Everton dropped more points. Benjamin Sekou came off the bench to fire Manchester United up to fourth in the Premier League with a 1-0 win as Everton extend their Michael Carragher's unbeaten start in charge of the Red Devils. Benjamin is yet to start in Crick's 6 games, but has hit top form since Ruben Amorim was sacked last month. Was Ruben Amorim the problem? We'll find out. The Slovenian, who scored just twice in his first 22 appearance after a £74 million move from RB Lisbon, has netted 6 goals in his last 7 games. The victory lifts United 3 points clear of Chelsea and Liverpool in the battle for a place in the next season's Champions League, with only the top 5 sets to qualify. The quality of United move that led to the winner, the 19th minute from time, was out of character with an otherwise uninspired 90 minutes. Everton have now failed to win in 7 home games as they struggle to adapt to live at their new 52,000 capacity Hill Dixon Stadium. David Moyes' men missed the chance to move up to 7th as they remain on the fringe of the fight for a place in Europe next season. So that is what is looking at now for these individuals. But quickly, let's bring you the highlight. That was a very, very beautiful game, a very beautiful counter attack from Manchester United. From behind, the ball was struck down to Mbeumo beating his man, placing a very good pass to Benjamin Sissoko, and Benjamin Sissoko was one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and then he just decided to pick a bar where he's going to place the ball, and he placed it neatly and gave Manchester United the crucial 3 points that they needed. But so for now, let me bring you the highlights of Manchester United